What is the perfect and ideal place in order to sell your cash secured puts? I get this question quite often when I do either coaching or some of the classes, like where is the best spot in order to sell your puts? And in this video, that's what we're going to chat about. Now, if you're brand new here, I'm Sasha, the options coach. Been teaching people to trade options over the last 10 plus years. And in one of the more recent classes that we've talked this about was our micro trading class. So if you're interested, you can take a look at this micro trading class, check it out on our website. I've also chatted a little bit about this in a selling put premium class that we did not too long ago. And a lot of people, they always wonder, well, what's the ideal place? What delta should I sell my put premium at? And I will say it depends on a few factors. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what is your primary objective when selling puts? You might be thinking, well, I'm trying to make money. I want to make some cash. And yeah, I get that part. I get that part. But in terms of the life cycle behind what's going on, there's an objective that can be attained. So for example, you go into a restaurant, and there's a lot of menu choices that you can have. Now, in those menu choices, what you can have is you might have like a steak, chicken wings, or you could have like a salad, something healthy. So what is your objective? Is your objective to have something delicious, maybe something more fulfilling and raw? Or do you want something more healthy, organic, that kind of thing? So it's really up to you, because with put selling, or just any strategy in general, they have different types of objectives that you can have. Now, in this case, when we look at it, there's a gradient in terms of full expiration all the way to a quick and fast rotation. So how does this really work when we look at selling put premium? So when we look at selling put premium, what you're going to have is different people will fall into different categories, and depending on this, you might change where you sell your put premium. So what happens is that we have this 0 day all the way to, let's just say, 120-day options that you could be selling. I mean, you could go sell things even further way out there, but 0 day, this is expiration time frame. Right? So we're going all the way up to expiration. So you might decide to sell, okay, well, if I'm going in and I'm selling things at 60 day, or I'm selling things at 30 day, or 15 day, it's going to be a little bit different. And now once you get into this time frame, you also have the same range in terms of delta, right? So we've got all the way to, let's just say 0 delta, all the way to a 1 delta. Over here we have at the money. Okay, and that'll be our 50 delta. So when we start looking at this, and we're selling a 50 delta, actually I probably should have done it kind of backwards over here. That way we have 0 all the way over here and a 1 in there. So now what we can do is say, okay, well, am I going a little bit out of the money? So maybe it's a 40 delta, maybe it's like a 20 delta. Is it a 10 delta? Is it a 5 delta? And as you start looking at this gradient and you're going further out, and the further you go out, the more likely you'll actually get to expiration. So the question comes down to, do you want to do very fast rotations, or do you want to try to get it to expirations? And there's pros and cons to doing this, because if you're looking to go in and do these two different methods, one method could be, and there's of course things in between where you could do a subtle half rotation, but one method could be fast rotation. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is, let's say you sell an option premium for 60 cents or $60, and then it drops to $50, and then you go out and you make your 10 bucks, and you rotate, and you do that a lot, maybe going out even 60 or 70 days, and you're going to accumulate quite a bit of capital. Because if you go and try to make that over the course of, let's say, a 30, 40 day time period, and you have to wait the full amount to make $60, if you're fast at rotating, you might make $10, then another $10, then another $10. You might actually make more money. You might make, let's say, $150 in your rotations in that 30 days compared to just sitting in the position. So if you're rotating very quickly, then that's fantastic and great, because you'll actually be able to make more, and you're actually not going to hit the full amount on a single option contract. You'll be able to stay safer away, and you'll never get to expiration. So that type of method is a rotation method. I've actually chatted a little bit about this in our scaling account class right here, where we've chatted a bit on rotation and how really rotation becomes an engine because you're trying to rotate that capital quickly. And the faster you can rotate, the more money you can actually make and create. So anyways, when we start looking at this kind of stuff and dealing in rotation, it's really important to really grasp this concept that you could be rotating a lot faster and making more depending on that duration that you're doing. So first, before we get to the actual delta and the sweet spot, we're going to go and look at the other method. The other method is, are we going to full expiration? Okay, so if we're trying to get things to expire, okay, that's a little bit different where let's say you sell something for $60 and then you go in and you try to let it run its full course and then it goes in and then it expires and then it's dead, but you only make that $60. Now there's pros and cons to each. I'm not saying one is better than the other because the question is better how? So if we look at these two different methods, the expiration is better because it requires a little less time. It's a little more hands off, you could say. Okay, so if you don't like playing with things, don't like touching things, you maybe have a full-time job, you got kids, you're busy, expiration might be the way to go and you're trying to collect it. But the downside is you have to sit in positions a little bit longer. Okay. The other downside is there's some risks that come towards expiration. So the closer you get towards expiration, there's some more risks that are associated here. Now, the rotation side over here is going to require more time, but you might actually be able to make more money faster if you're able to do a lot of cycles in the rotation. However, again, it chews up a lot of time and focus. Okay. There's more transaction costs. For example, commissions. But again, you might be able to pull off more capital. And there's, of course, something in between where you could kind of do slower rotations, not necessarily go all the way to expiration, but you could do somewhere in between where you can do like a slower rotation mode. Where it's not super quick or hyper focused rotation, but it's somewhere in between. It's not full expiration, but you're doing a rotation maybe every 10 days or 15 days rather than a rotation of daily or every couple of days. So again, check out some of the classes that's more specific to that on scaling the accounts, but we chat a little bit more about it there. Anyways, so now comes down the question of which delta do you choose? Now, when we look at deltas, the deltas that rotate the fastest are going to be the deltas that are the strongest. Okay, so strong delta over here, these will rotate faster. Why do they rotate faster? Well, they have a bigger delta. So a small wiggle in the price will give it a chance to rotate if you catch it at the right time. Okay. Now the problem with going, anything above 50 delta is if you're trying to get things to expire, this already is a kind of a no-go, but in theory, it does rotate. Like, so if you're playing with price and you're trying to rotate, it's not one that you'll want to really deal with in the sense of expiration. But if you want to just rotate it, those above 50 work really well. But if you're trying to get things to expire, the ones that rotate a lot faster are going to be things in the 20 delta range or more. So these rotate pretty quick, but still have a chance of expiration. Okay, so 20 delta to about 40 delta, they have quick rotations and so forth. Now, if you want to still rotate, but you're okay to rotate slower, but you want more safety and distance, this is where you can get into, I'll just go over here, do a little bit of a different color. This is where you can go in and do something between a 10 and 20 delta. So they do rotate pretty quick, but you're looking more closer to letting things work and breathe. You've got more range. You're collecting a little less premium. So if things actually move, the delta also moves a lot slower. So that means if it goes against you, you'll be less in trouble. But if it goes in your favor, you can't rotate as quickly. So they are a little slower to rotate, but they still do rotate. They're just a little bit slower. And the final thing, the safest one is, of course, anything way further out. These are more in the expiration line. So if you're focused more on trying to get things to expire fully, you'll probably be like a 10 delta or less. Now, I'm not saying a 20 delta cannot expire worthless. Absolutely, it can. It can expire worthless if it by happenstance moves in your favor and you're not focused on rotation and then you just kind of let it sit and do its thing. Absolutely, it can still expire, But in most cases, when you're going anywhere between a 0 delta to a 10 delta, those are the ones that are looking to expire more or less. So if your focus is expiration, then you'll probably go into those deltas. So that's kind of my personal take as far as the delta goes. So if you take a look at Uber here as this example, so if I'm going and I'm trying to rotate things quickly, I'd probably go somewhere around this 35 down to about a 20 delta, and these rotate quickly, because if this option contract, let's say, goes from 95, let's say this 21 delta goes from 95 and it just moves $1, well, that option contract might be worth now $1.17, or vice versa. If it goes from 95 to 75 cents, that's, you can pull out maybe $20 worth. So $1 move, you might be able to pull out $20 worth, meaning because this option will turn into that option. So they behave very similarly. So it becomes that option. So if I sell something for 95 and it turns into 75, I can pull out $20, do that rotation, then do it again, maybe 3 days later, then do it again, place an option, wait 3-4 days as it wiggles and decays a little, and keep repeating that process. So I might be able to do a $20 rotation in that regard. Now, other options, if I get closer, they might jump 60 cents. You can see there it might be about $60 where I can rotate for $1 move. So they behave a little bit differently, more reactive, but if it goes against me, I only have this much range or room. So in either case, if I'm trying to kind of do a quicker rotation but still be safe, I'll probably be around this, 35, 30 delta, 30 to about 20, nice sweet spot for fast rotation. If you're okay with a slower rotation, somewhere around this 20 delta to maybe about a 12, 15 delta, 10 delta is okay. They do rotate, but they're just a little bit slower. And if you're trying to get things to expire, around that 10, 12 delta, all the way, anything under, is probably more likely to expire worthless. Now, again, expiration does have its own little bit of problems and so on, and something to be, of course, aware of. Now, I will also mention that the further out in time you go, like let's say you go 128 days and you're trying to go over here with a 10 delta, even though these are a 7 delta and a 5 delta, when you go further out in time, you'll actually probably rotate these rather than trying to get them to expire, simply because they've got so much time. And eventually when this goes from 100 days to, let's say, 30 days, the behavior, just the options, most of that decay is already gone. So you'll probably look at more rotation once you get beyond like 60, 90 days, rather than actually trying to get them to expiration, even though you might do a small options. Now, there's a case-by-case basis for that, and you might be different for you, because you might say, you know what, I'm okay letting it run, but it usually just ties up a little more cash and capital. So anyways, I hope this gives you a little insight there from rotation versus expiration, and which delta to choose, what's kind of the sweet spot. I highly encourage you to check out some of the classes there on our website. You can even book a 20-minute call with me if you're interested on coaching and one-on-one things and that sort of stuff. But we've definitely covered this in selling put premium. We've talked about rotation in scaling the accounts. So if you've got access to the classes, definitely check out those classes if you haven't seen them yet. And we've also talked about micro trading, about how to get those things to expire as far as put selling. So check out those classes if you are one of the members and watching this, but if not, maybe you've picked up a few tips from this. So anyways, hope you appreciate the video. Hope it gave you a little insight. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, do reach out on the website. Other than that, enjoy the week ahead, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.